careful on recording these things. Oh, I apologize. I hope you don't use them religiously.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay.
Normally just before important test quizzes.
So how do we convert this to this format?
Well,
Do you know how to complete the square?
No. Well, maybe
Okay.
another form of wording.
Well, in order to complete the square, we're going to look at this part right here. We want to take that part and turn it into an a times an x minus some number squared. And the way you do that is, first of all, you have to get rid of the 1/2. So we have to factor out that 1/2 from these two terms. So the first step I'm going to write is 1/2 times x squared plus 5/2 x, plus 10x, leave space to complete the square, and then put my plus 12 over here. Okay, this is the same as that, right? If you distribute that half, you get 1/2 x squared plus 5x plus 12. Now we are in the position to complete the square. How do we complete the square?
Well, you have to take up the square root, or the square, right?
You take half of this term, this coefficient of the x term, and square it, and add it.
Plus 25?
Uh-huh. And the reason I can do that, or the reason I want to do that, is because now I can represent that as that squared. Always. In other words, by completing the square, you will always be able to represent the resultant quadratic as an x plus or minus an h quantity squared. Okay? So, hold on. When I wrote 25 into that spot right there, what did I do to the right side of this equation? How much did I add to it?
A 25? So you put...
No, I didn't add 25 to it. I added 1/2 times 25.
Oh, okay. So then you have to do the same thing to the other side.
Not to the other side, to the same side. Notice everything is on the right side here. I left this 12 over there because the standard format has that plus k. So I don't want to move that 12 anywhere. Because all I want to do is the opposite thing to the same side of the equation. I just added 12.5, so I have to subtract 12.5. Now, this is identical with what we started with. And now I can write it in vertex format. 1/2 times x plus 5 quantity squared, and add these two together, I get minus 1/2. So what's the vertex?
Wait, so what? Audio?
Uh-oh. Can you not hear me, Sarah?
I'm struggling with the audio a little bit. Okay, wait, it's coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I lost the little box. Okay.
Okay, so what's the vertex? If, in other words, I've gotten the equation into vertex format by completing the square.
So the vertex would be... Okay, the vertex would be -5.
Yep.
And then the k would be minus 1/2.
That's k.
Yeah.
This a does not affect the vertex. That can be 1/2 or 10. It would not affect the vertex. Okay? So that's another way to find the vertex. I don't know if that's easier or harder than figuring out what b minus b over 2a is and then plugging that back in and figuring out what y is at that value. To me, I'm real practiced at completing the square. So to me, completing the square might be the easier method. But for someone else, using minus b over 2a might be the method you would want to use.
Right.
But it's important to know you can use both, or either or. And completing the square is needed in all kinds of stuff. When you start studying conic sections, completing the square is going to be huge. So it's something you want to get familiar with and know how to do. And the tricky parts were involved here. The tricky parts being having to factor out that coefficient in front of the x squared term first. And then knowing that when I write 25 in that spot right there, I haven't added 25 to the right side of the equation. I've added 1/2 of 25. So there's a couple of tricky parts that you got to get used to be able to complete the square, but once you get practiced at it, it comes easy. All right. We call it a session.
All right.
And let's see. Before you leave, let me open real quick I couldn't get into my scheduler a little bit earlier. Maybe I can now, I hope. Uh-oh. I have a feeling this is for the same reason I couldn't get in to go to meeting earlier. But maybe not. This thing might just be down. It's hard for me to tell. So when do you think our appointment is? Did we move it to Saturday or Sunday or?
No, still Wednesday, I think, at 3:30. The one we moved was today. We moved it from...
Okay, so our next one's Wednesday at 3:30. Okay.
Yeah.
See you then.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.